This is Bob Sansevier here with Rick Alonzo, John Shipley, and Pioneer Press Deputy Sports Editor John Plume. Tonight, NBA lottery, decide who has that first overall pick. Wolves have a shot at it. David Kahn, team president, leaves open the possibility if they get the number one pick of trading it. I think that's you can get the number one pick, you got to keep it. John, you agree, or you think that that's a bad idea?
If he trades the pick, Taylor should fire him.
Well, that's a little severe. What do you think, Rick?
I think you do not trade the number one pick in this situation. I think Kahn should ask himself, what would Kevin McHale do, and then do the opposite.
John, what would McHale do? I think McHale would keep the pick.
Yeah, well, you got to be a complete idiot not to keep the pick. I don't think Kevin's a complete idiot.
Yeah,
but I picked the off guard. They have a point guard. Frankly, I think if you pick the point guard and don't trade Flynn, it's a disaster.
What about depth? You have a backup. Talk about the
Johnny Flynn doesn't listen to Rambus now.
Think about
he's
the
going to
depth.
listen to him when he's a backup.
Think about the depth you'd have if you have Wall, Flynn, and Ricky Rubio.
It's a waste. Yeah,
I think John makes a good point. If you go point guard, you're basically admitting that the first draft you ran as the president, you screwed it up.
No, what you're saying is you're taking the best player on the board.
No, but I think that off guard's really good. The kid from Ohio State. Johnny Flynn is a talented guy. Johnny Flynn's problem is that he felt like he had to do it all himself last year. He drove. He thinks he can dunk. He can't dunk. He thinks he can drive. Every once in a while it works. But maybe if he had an off guard who could make a basket every once in a while, he would pass the ball.
Now, Rick, is there a huge gap between Wall and Turner? Or are they close? I mean, could you take Turner with the first pick and not be ridiculed?
Whenever you have an opportunity to draft a franchise point guard who will be a perennial all-star, a guy in your starting lineup for 10 to 12 years, you do it. It's the same thing at the center position. Those are the two rarest positions in the league. There's always athletic power forwards, athletic shooting guards. Guys at other positions, you can get those guys much easier than the 1 and the 5.
So, sounds like if they had the number one pick, you take Wall.
And if
what?
And they make one more. They make
What's
one
that?
more move. They trade 12, they trade 16, and they trade Al Jefferson. They move back into the top 10, and they take the hometown boy, Cole Aldrich, who will play center for 10, 12, 13 years here, be all defensive all the time.
That's interesting.
It strengthens them at the center position. It strengthens them at point guard. And
why don't
you've got Kevin Love.
Why don't you take the kid from Ohio State and do that?
You can do the same thing.
That's what I would do.
He always comes up with interesting things, but
Yeah.
they never pan out. The teams never listen to you. I don't understand why. We'll find out what they do later tonight.